25 and a quarter and a half and 75 and 125 and a half and 75 and 2, quarter and 75 and 3. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wild Boar Show. My name is Chris, the Wild Boar, and I am glad you are here. Going to get into it in just a second or two and tell you and remind you, I am a state licensed auctioneer, real estate broker. I can sell your house and everything inside. That's right, I can sell your car, your castle, do it all without a hassle. I can sell your house, everything inside. Friends, I am so pumped here. The idea behind the Wild Boar Show, of course, is to be informative, interesting, and entertaining. I'm going to bring you some fantastic guests. We're going to talk about a couple of really, really cool things. And this guy that you see sitting next to me, I'm going to introduce him here in just a moment. But before I go, and you know what, I'm going to give you a formal introduction in a second, but I both think that we both just need to give a shout out to our friends in Jamaica. They're going through a hard time,
100%.
my man. We are. So, listen, we have some friends. I'm working with the American Caribbean Maritime Foundation next week doing their benefit gala, and I know they all have friends down there, and everybody's a little concerned. It was a big old storm that went through, so our hearts and prayers and all that good stuff go out. Running right into it, I want to say thank you to Sergeant Major David McKinley, who was my guest yesterday. We got the podcast was posted yesterday afternoon late. Thank you so much to all of you that have reached out. You've direct messaged me. You have done, it's awesome. I appreciate the support in a big way. So that it's not awkward, I want to go right into this. This is going to take me a second, and it's one page, and it should be a book, quite frankly, because he's such an interesting guy. Sitting with me today is my very good friend, Thomas A. King Jr. He has a distinguished career in business and community leadership. Prior to his current role, he managed the bond trading floor at Raymond James for 9 years, gaining extensive experience in finance and management. Since 2016, Thomas has served as the CEO and owner of the Florida Firearms Academy, which is where we are today. And during that role, he oversees operations and delivers a wide array of firearm educational programs. I know I've sat through a couple of them, actually. And I shouldn't say I just sat through them because I really enjoyed them. And as a certified instructor with credentials from both the NRA and USCCA, Thomas has attained the prestigious Grandmaster level and teaches over 40 specialized firearm courses. Thomas's commitment to community service is exemplary. In 2021, he was honored with the Citizen of the Year Award by the mayor for his significant contributions to the local community, awarded by the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, for his business achievements, awarded by the People and the Tampa Bay Times for the #1 range store and academy 5 years in a row. He was awarded the FBI Nationals CAAA for Gold Star sponsorship, awarded by the Fraternal Order of Police for his large sponsorships within their leadership. Thomas actively supports over 40 charitable organizations and holds leadership positions that include, deep breath, CEO and owner of the Florida Firearms Academy, LLC. He's a CEO and owner of Kids Safety Academy, LLC. He's a CEO and owner of the 2A Monsta, LLC, Board of Directors, FBI Tampa, CAAA, Board of Directors with the Kiwanis, Board of Directors with UBPA, Board of Directors with the VFW, Board of Director with Will's Way Foundation, the Fraternal Order of Police, a whole bunch of letters here, BACC, SCA, USCCA, and NRA. Official partners with USCCA and SF, retired chairman of the board with the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. He's government licensed FFL and SOT holder. His dedication to excellence and philanthropy continues to make a lasting impact on the business leaders and his community. And I've known him for a handful of years, and I am very, very proud to call him my friend. Welcome to the Wild Boar Show,
Thank you.
Thomas. Buddy.
Thank you. That's a lot of breath there, man.
It is, man.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot to go through.
You were awesome.
I did all that.
It wears you out a little bit. You know, you start to go,
Right.
how did I cram all that in like 5 years of business? But you've done a great job. Maybe 10. What do you say?
Yeah, 10 years. So that's what we do. We, if you don't know what Florida Firearms Academy is, we are a range store and academy. We do offer over 40 different types of training and classes, and we have the highest level of training that you can possibly do. We have military, law enforcement, FBI, we even have ATF, we have law enforcement. These are the instructors here. You can pick through over 20 different instructors, and you take the course that you want to. So if you're just starting out, you know, we get you in a basic pistol course. If you want a concealed weapon course, and now today you can do open carry. So if you see people open carrying a firearm, have you seen anyone yet?
I have.
Oh, okay. Well, I've seen them riding around on their motorcycles, open carrying, and there's not really much you can do about it. But the problem that people have is they don't have the training. They just think, oh, I can open carry my firearm. You know how many people shoot themselves in the leg or foot because they don't have that training? They don't know how to holster draw. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Even law enforcement, they don't get a lot of training. And, there's some that are amazing, but it's all about training and how to do it, muscle memory, so you don't hurt yourself, you don't hurt anyone else out there, because you have the training that qualifies you to really carry a firearm safely, and you can shoot it, hold it, load it correctly, safely, and accurately.
So all of that is, I think, talking to a very broad scope of people and their different levels. I know at the age of 15 years old, now we had guns in my house, and I think people that are my age, our dads all came back from Vietnam and Korea, World War II, that kind of thing. We always knew there were guns in the house, firearms in the house, and we respected them. When I was 15 years old, I was sent out to the northwest corner of Montana, where my retired Lieutenant Colonel Marine Corps uncle, Harper L. Bohr, taught me the difference between a pistol and a rifle.
Mm-hmm.
And before we ever loaded and pulled, I knew inside and out what I was going to do when we went to the quarry to actually do that. And I was 15 years old. And so I maintained that. Now, having said that, and I'm telling you that to tell you this, when I first came in here many, many years ago, you looked at me and you said, you know what you're doing.
You're good.
And I said, I appreciate that, but I will always listen and I will always learn.
Sure, 100%. Right? So will myself.
And during that time, we were doing something with a small fellowship group,
mm-hmm.
and you had folks that had never, ever put a firearm in their hand, and same type of thing. And it brought me back to when I was younger. So anybody's welcome here. Everybody's welcome, whatever their skill set.
That's the thing. People, especially right now, single moms are coming in because they feel vulnerable. Now, we do sport shooting, competition shooting, and home defense shooting. So one of my courses is we take you from beginner all the way to grandmaster. Now, that's anyone can do this as long as you're physically capable. I have ladies that are 80 years old that come in here. They never shot a firearm. They literally picked up a firearm and they started crying because they were so scared. Now they're grandmaster shooters. They draw out, they shoot 4 shots, center mass in under 1 second. And anyone can do this. It's just about learning how to do it. They do move and shoot, multiple targets, mandatory reloads, malfunction drills, kicking down barricades, room clearing, shooting in the dark, low light. They learn all of this in these courses, and it's so much fun. We make it fun. It's not military style training. We're not screaming. We make it fun, but very educational. And the number one thing is safety.
For sure. And then you just mentioned open carry. And now, so because of that, you don't need to have the concealed carry class. Is that correct?
Well, our concealed carry class is now packed more than ever, believe it or not, because they want to know the laws. And that's one of the biggest things that you have to know. Knowing the laws, and then you do, like in our open carry course, you're going to know the laws, and then you're going to go out and learn how to holster draw correctly so you don't hurt yourself or anyone else. The open carry situation is, there's pros and cons to it. The pros are you can get to your firearm quicker. You can carry a larger firearm more comfortably now. You can carry a rifle. But the cons are you're the number one threat now. If a bad guy sees you and you're carrying a firearm, they're probably going to go after you first without you even knowing. And the pro of that is if there's a bunch of people carrying a firearm, a bad guy walks in and goes, well, maybe I won't rob this store today. But the other side of it is the bad guys, they can't come into my store and buy a firearm. We customize firearms. We make them to whatever you want, NFA. We Cerakote them, laser guns, so they are really nice and pretty. Some are very expensive, some are $200. But you have to look at what these guys want a firearm. And they're going to do what they do. They're bad guys. They're not going to rob you because they see you with the firearm. They're probably going to just shoot you because you have a firearm. You could fight back. They're going to shoot you and take it. And most people don't know about the holsters that they should use. Like if you're going to open carry, I would use at least a level 2 holster. That locks your firearm in. And you could get to it quick and easy. You just push your button down or wherever it may be to unlock it from stealing it out. Because if not, someone's going to come by, grab it from you from the back, take it out and shoot you with it or whatever they may do. And one of the biggest things is now you just lost your element of surprise,
sure.
Right? So if you're losing your element of surprise and there's an attack, I'm always that quiet guy that sits in the back that looks at all the exits and entrances and sees what's going on. We call it a game. We do it many different courses that we go over, especially in the home defense course. But we teach you to look at each situation. If something bad happens, where would I go? If something happens here, what would I do here? And it's a game we play. We don't make it morbid or anything like that. But if they come in and they see me and I'm just a lone sheep sitting there and I don't have a firearm, I'm not a threat to them until they hurt someone or they're putting my life in risk. Then now I have to act and do accordingly on what I need to do.
And I suppose that was my springboard into that, is that even though you don't have to have the class, you should go.
Sure,
go
it's
do
learning
it.
the law. But,
Sure.
And I guarantee you this, even though there is open carry, you're not seeing a lot of it out there. A lot of people just want to show off their $20,000 pistol and go, look at this bad chicken. Well, somebody wants that gun, believe me. If they see it, like, right now what we're seeing is the height of, when you're coming out of a restaurant, they have spotters. It's growing huge here now in Tampa Bay. It started out in like Brazil a lot, but the spotters are like your valet guy or your concierge that's sitting up front waiting you. You come in, they know how to spot if you have a real Rolex on or a beautiful $40,000 wedding ring on. And what these guys are doing, and there's mainly gangs, and they're teaching the kids how to do this. The guys with valet, they'll either look at your remote control on your garage door, they'll get the code for it, and they'll see your address. So they know, oh, this person's really rich, we want to go hit that place right there. And it's kind of scary. But also they'll say, oh, yeah, this guy has a real Rolex on. So 3 guys will come up. When you come out of the restaurant, you're walking down the back alleyway, they'll say, guy with the red jacket on, he has a really nice watch. So 3 guys will come up, one will come walking towards you. Keep eye contact 100%, because if you do, now you can identify them. And if you think there is a threat, move across the street. But normally what they'll do is, hey, did you drop your money right down there? And you look, and then 2 guys behind you have a gun in your back, or if he's acting alone, which normally he doesn't now, he'll put a gun in your face or a knife, say, hey, give me your watch, give me your whatever. So there's 2 types of bad guys. There's one that wants to rob you and take your stuff and your valuables, and the other one wants to do horrible things to you or kill you. So if someone's robbing me and they say, give me your money, I'm like, whoo, thank God, here, what do you need? You need my PIN number? Because I know I'm gonna live that day, as long as I'm complying, right? I can't draw on a drawn gun, I'm already outgunned. So I would give you what you want. I don't care about my watch or my money. That's green paper to me. My life is more valuable.
Sure.
So I want to comply with this guy. Let him go away. I'm going to call the cops. Well, they had 30 of these today, so it's going to be really hard to catch this guy, because tomorrow there's going to be 30 more of these, and the next day there's going to be 30. So how do you catch these guys? The police are doing as best as they can with what they have and the information, but it's just happening so much. So if they're just going after your wedding ring, that's so easy. Give me a wedding. Okay, here you go. Boom, they're gone. You turn around, I'm gonna shoot you in the face. Look down, they're gonna tell you to look down, look away from me. They're gonna run away, they're gonna be gone. You're never gonna see that again. And how like home invasions. We just had a senior wellness party the other day. We had live band, free food, we gave away firearms, it was all free. We even did blood tests and colonoscopy tests here. They had all these vendors here. It was a great time. But we also did a how to make you and your home a hard target. And that wasn't about firearms or anything. It was about making your house a hard target. But you know the number one deterrent so they did all these studies in prison with the FBI and the police say, hey, for criminals that break in, what's the number one deterrent? What did you see, like alarm? What is it that you see that you say, oh, I'm not going to that house? You know what it is?
Tell me.
It is if your bathroom light is on.
I think I knew
It's
that.
not a dog. It's not your bars in the window. It's if your bathroom light is on. Because we all keep our porch light on.
Sure.
We keep our front garage door light on. But if your bathroom light is on and all of them said this, that means someone's in the house. And they don't want to deal with that, right? You know, professionals don't want to deal with that. And like the gangs, what we're seeing here, and people are coming going, I got to buy a firearm. I need a firearm today. Well, what happened? What do you need it for? Is there competition? No, 3 guys kicked my door in last night. This one lady, she was here. She was sitting in her lazy boy. They knew she was single at home. They followed her from the grocery store, and that's what they do. They mark you. You go to the public shopping, wherever, and they follow you home, and they go, oh yeah, she's got a really nice ring. She's got this beautiful house. Okay, she lives alone. We're gonna go hit this lady's house. They don't care. These are gang members, and they're normally teenagers, and the gang members are getting your teenagers to do it. And I'll tell you how they do that in a second, but. They kicked her doors in. She was sitting in the chair and watched. She said she couldn't even move. They looked at her, didn't even care, took her jewelry, they were out in 2 minutes. and that's probably 1 minute too long.
The
Normally they're
Louvre
not.
was just robbed.
Yeah, I was just in France too, so I got a really nice crown. I heard they caught those guys.
We had two of them, I understand.
Yeah, well, good.
Amazingly, they can't find the jewels. I don't know.
Well,
Anyway, divert there for a minute.
most bad guys you're never going to catch because they know exactly what they're doing. These guys, they're just idiot gang members. They kick your door in, they go through, get your stuff. This lady said she sat there for she could probably 15 minutes before she could even move, and she was so scared. She's like, "Do I call the police? Do I call my neighbor? Who? I don't have anybody." So it was terrifying for her. But they're getting your kids. They're going to schools and they're getting them high, they're getting them drunk, they're partying with them, making them act like their friend. They're buying the $200 sneakers and say, "Hey, yeah, hang out with us." And then after a while, they say, "Hey, we want you to help break into some cars. You just check the door handle, see if they're unlocked. If they're unlocked, you go in. If not, you move on to the next car." And the kids are like, "No, I don't want to do that." And they're like, "No, you got to do that." And if they say no, they say, "Okay, well, we're just going to kill your parents now."
Sure.
And this has happened over and over and over. And once you advance the kid, okay, now you're breaking into houses. You're going to steal stuff. What we're looking for, you're only getting these items. Now you're going to go steal cars. You move up the rankings. And these guys that run these operations, they don't get in trouble. Because their hands are clean, right? I don't know who these kids are. And when the kids get busted, they get into the system, and then they're going to let back out because they're teenagers, right? They're not going to get in trouble, and they throw them back into the system, go out and get more houses. And these kids are terrified because they will go kill your parents. They will. So you have to tell your kids, please, don't get involved with drugs or people that you don't know. And if they're older, they're getting the other kids to get the kids. "Hey, hang out with us. We're going to have a great time." And they do. They go out party. They're like, "These guys are the best." And then they say, "Hey, if you don't do it, we're going to kill you." It happened to a friend of mine that's an attorney. She's a single mom. It was a horrible story. I'm not going to go through it because they had to actually change once they finally got their daughter back after abused and beaten and all kinds of horrible things. They had to change her name. They were so scared they moved out of the state and went to another state. And I won't say what state it is because they really wanted to kill these people. So it's horrible.
Sure.
And there's 4,000 MS-13 gang members here right now. We pay some of our local.
When you say
officers
here, what do you mean?
Here in Tampa Bay area.
It's crazy.
They said I think there's 8 different gangs here. LA Latin King. I don't even remember all the names they told me, but it's crazy. And there's not really much they can do about it because they're using kids as their weapons.
Sure.
And all they're doing is getting richer and fatter and distributing the drugs out.
Sure. So, and of course, listen, the idea here of the Wild Boar Show is to keep you informed, entertained, all that good stuff, and make it interesting. And that's very, very interesting. But we're not here to scare you. We're here to aware you.
Yeah.
And that's the idea. So, bringing that back a little bit from the edge and the ledge, if you will, here's what I unpacked from that. So, I'm very fortunate. I just smile because late in life, I had a baby and I have a 9-year-old son. And I got to tell you how we are involved. When I tell you we're involved so much. His mom volunteered at his school so much they gave her the front desk admin job. So he goes to school every single day, and I know you all can't do that, but he goes to school every day, and his mom is 40 yards away from wherever position he is in school. Now, you think, right? So listen, he doesn't stand a chance. All right? So then he gets home, and we go straight to baseball practice, and that's me. So we are involved. We know exactly where he is. Keep an eye on your children. Just know where they are so that they don't end up in some of those scary situations. And then, of course, protection, right? We always say that an armed society is a safe society. Whether you agree with that, whether you don't agree with that, at the end of the day, I personally do, and I think that indeed being involved in your kids' day to day, right, and understanding what's going on, and not to shield them from everything because we can't, Thomas.
Right. The number one job as a parent is to protect them, clothe them, feed them, and house them.
I think for the first 5 years. And most parents want to do that. I think for the first 5 years, you're trying to keep them from killing themselves, right? You don't want them to stick their fingers in the light sockets, and you don't want to do all that stuff. And now we're into the formidable years with Christopher. He's 9.5 years old, by golly. But anyway, let's talk about a couple of things here. So shifting gears a little bit. And then one more thing, since we talked about the kids, you have a kid safety program. Let's talk about that real quick,
course. And that's the thing, be involved with your kids, get them into sports.
And they can come in here and be involved, right?
Oh, absolutely.
In firearms sports.
Free safety course for your kid. We do this. We've been on Bay News 9. We've been awarded for this for 7 years in a row now. The things that we do a free firearm safety course. It's 100% free. You don't have to pay a dime when you come here, and the kids just have a blast. But it's so educational. We'd be put, So it's so educational that if they come across a firearm at a friend's house, what do? They sign a contract with us saying this is what they will do if they do, because we want kids to be educated first, and their parents to educate their kids, but we want them to be safe. Anytime, like I was recently on, I was at Fox News for, there was a kid shooting, a kid found a firearm and actually shot himself. He was okay, but those things hold dear to me, because what we do is we train with firearms,
Sure.
right? And people, if they come after me, I'm like, well, people get in car wrecks every day. People drink alcohol every day. It's not the firearm that's doing it. It's the training and the education about
Or the
it.
lack thereof.
So yeah, and
Or
it
the
comes
lack thereof, yeah.
right out of my pocket to train these kids. We do it once a month, every third Sunday, and they have a really good time.
So, but the parents can also go
they,
to the
they
range.
will be in here with them.
Yep. So FFA right here at the Florida Firearms Academy, he has a full-on range right here. As a matter of fact, it's crazy how silent it is. But you're outside, you can actually hear. But inside where we are in his classroom, which is where we are right now, you can't even hear a thing. But there's a couple of people on the range. The point is, if you're looking for something interesting to do with your children that serves multi-purposes, here's an opportunity. Now, let's say you don't own a firearm. You don't have one, okay? And you're intimidated. That's very natural from what I've learned and observed. They can come in here and you can give them or lend them and rent them firearms to use so that they can get comfortable with that. Talk about that for a moment.
Right, so the firearms, we have 70 different pistols, rifles, and shotguns you can try. If you're a member, you get to try
70?
Yes, you get to try them free of charge. And that way, you get to try things that, we have people come in here. I had this lady come here and she said, hey, this gun hurt my hand. She must have been in her 70s, 80s. And I look at, she had a 44 Magnum. She said, the guys sold this to me down the road, and we're looking at her like, for what? They're like, for defense. And we're like,
Lift it up.
because it's like a $3,000 pistol, and we're like, look, you need this like $400 pistol. We're gonna let you try like 4 different ones and see what works best for you. And then we got her the one that she said, well, can I trade it? We're like, well, we can't give you the money. Try to take it back to them and get your money back. And she says, I just want to get rid of it. We're like, so, we have a bunch of them, so we just told her.
But you do that. You also buy firearms and you also let them consign.
Yes, so we said we can consign it for you, but you're not going to get the money back that you put into this, because now it's used. And there's not a big market for that firearm. So she got the training.
It's a cannon.
Yeah. We're like, yeah, that hurt your hand. She was a little lady too. We're like, oh, they just wanted to sell her a firearm and make a lot of money that day. So we want you to use the firearm. You use our rentals. You get to see what works best for you. I can tell you what's the best firearm, but it may not be the one for you, because we all have different hand sizes, different strength. And you need to be able to work all the mechanisms on the firearm. So you get to try them all out, see what works best for you, and then you make your purchase if that's what it is. And we do have probably the best firearm prices on the planet. Our Black Friday is coming up, right?
Perfect.
Let me tell you about this. There used to be 800 people that would sleep out there for 4 nights. And the line would go all around the building. I have to get porta potties and what, but the alarms kept going off. Marty would sleep upstairs with a rifle. And so we said, now what you got to do is you come on Black Friday, 8 a.m. You bring in your donation bags, and that's all. And all proceeds are going to help the church and the homeless. Once you bring it in, we draw out tickets to see who gets to go in line to be able to come in, because I got a Daniel Defense rifle back there in 5.56 with an EOTech, a mag. It's all decked up. It's $99. So it cost me thousands and thousands of dollars for this rifle. I got Glock 6, Smith & Wesson, AR, AK. They're $99. Now these are pre-owned or trade-ins, but we want to always give someone the opportunity of having their dream firearm for a price they can afford. Now I could just go, you know what, homeless, everyone homeless, and the trigger's 50 grand, we're all good. But we decided we're going to just sell everything and give people the opportunity to buy the coolest firearm that they've always wanted for a price if they bring in a donation, and they do. So it's a win-win. We teamed up with Kids for a Cause and Life is a Donation. They're going to have a big truck here that day, and and also we give away firearms that day. It's free if you just show up or call out tickets. We give away thousands of dollars in prizes. We just want to have a really fun time. If you don't believe it's true, come on out here. You're going to be like, wow, this is nuts. And you will line up, you will go into the range. That's where all the firearms that are $99 will be. And we'll go ahead and get you set up for what you want. Now, you can only buy one. Can't come here and buy all of them. I used to have other gun stores line up here and like try to buy a $4,000 rifle for $99 and sell it at their store and get the profit. Like, no, don't do that. This is for, the homeless and donations. So,
Sure.
But have a good time doing it.
So a couple things to unpack there. One, you mentioned our good friend Sharon Webb over at Life as a Donation.
Sharon
We're gonna have
Edwards.
Sharon. I said Sharon Webb. Sorry, Sharon. She's in North Carolina. Sharon Edwards. I'm sorry, Sharon, my dear. We talked to her last night. We're going to get her on real soon. And she has a fantastic cause, Life as a Donation, and she's connected with Oldsmar Cares and some other things that we're going to talk about around. When you talk about the draw and the magnetism to the Florida Firearms Academy, as you all know, I'm an auctioneer. And several years ago, this was pre-COVID, Thomas says, Chris, let's have an auction. And I said, okay, buddy. One of the biggest challenges you're going to have is getting an audience. He said, I'll get you an audience.
Oh, yeah.
I said, Thomas, I said, I appreciate that, man, but and with all due respect, I got to tell you, I hear that all the time. He said, we'll get you an audience. Folks, there were probably 300 people here. They were spilling outside, and that was 8 years ago, I think, 7 years ago, whatever it was. Fantastic afternoon, people having a good time, and he would stop me every 20, 30 minutes and just give away a firearm. So
You know what we did? We did all firearms are $1.
I remember that.
How crazy is
Started
that?
off at $1.
All
And
firearms.
then you get found 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Boy, you know, we're at 300, 400. You always said somebody just wanted to win. And Thomas would go, stop. They're paying over retail like they just want to win. So we had some of those things happening. By the way, we can do that if you have a business you need to liquidate. I can help you out there. We've got a couple things I've got to talk about right now. Again, thank you very much to David McKinley, Sergeant Major McKinley, who was in with us yesterday. I want to tell you about what's coming up, dude. This is pretty cool. And invite you over if you want to tomorrow morning.
Sure.
I'm going to be at the Tampa Bay Brewing Company, TBBC with Major.
Yeah, I love Major.
9:30 tomorrow morning. We're going to be over there, and he told me we're going to sample some beers. It's his wedding anniversary, but God bless him. He's going to promote the brewery in the morning with the Wild Bohr Show. So we're going to talk about the Badass Beer Festival coming up, all right? There's going to be 75 breweries involved. This thing is going to be incredible. We're going to talk about that. Then on Friday, our good friend, I know you know James, we're going to be out at Chichi Rodriguez. James Poulter. He's the president of Chichi Rodriguez Youth Foundation. We're going to actually be out on his course to do that. The weekend, I'm full of baseball and family and all that fun stuff, but Monday, are you ready for this? Dude, you got to come out and watch this one. So Monday morning, I will be at Empower Adventures with our friend Jessica Wright. And we're going to go all the way up to the very, very top platform. And hopefully it's not a windy day.
Platform of what? You gotta
The
let
top,
them know.
I'm getting
That's
ready.
where they zip
I hope
line.
it's not. Yeah, I hope it's
Yeah.
not too windy because we're going to be at the top platform of the zip line track that is in the city of Oldsmar. It's called Empowered Adventures. So we're going to do our show from there. I got some
Most people don't even know you can zip line right here in Oldsmar.
There's so many things that we can do. Not only can you go to the Florida Firearms Academy and learn about gun safety in the range, you've got the horse track, right?
Sure.
There we have ice skating.
Just went through Oktoberfest.
Did you know that we have a Frisbee golf course?
Yeah,
We have a
I do
Frisbee
know that.
golf
We're going
course.
to do a tournament.
Yep, we have a Frisbee golf course. We have zip lining. We have team building, all sorts of fun stuff. We've got TVBC, the brewery, the award-winning, by the way. They won the Oktoberfest. And then real quick, the car show. I wanted to mention Jason Nastasi and your involvement with that car show. If you would, just for a second, because we're kind of getting tight on time.
So we've always donated and sponsored and supported many of the events out here, and we always, Jason and his whole family have come here. They have taken the 1 year of courses with us. They're grandmaster shooters. They do amazing. Even his mom. Don't mess with his mom. So when we say you get to that level, they shoot better than probably 95% of people in the world. And they draw out, shoot really fast. We're going to teach you how to shoot really fast. So over at Jason there, we donated a nice package deal for them. So they're raising money for the cause for pedal power they get bikes for the kids.
Yep.
And I said it was for Jason's drug addiction, but whatever works. So the money does go towards, he doesn't have a drug addiction.
No, his drug addiction is firearms, and we'll just say
and
fast cars. We'll just do
fast
that.
cars.
Yeah,
Like
there
most
we go.
guys,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what we do. Dan McKinley, he was out there. He was helping out with the show. I'm on the board with him. I'm on the VFW. Every one of these guys I'm on a board with somewhere in there. But amazing guy. I hate Dave because he's such a nice guy. He does so many good things. I'm so proud of that guy for where he is and where he's become. He did a great job. So
You know, I said this
Awesome.
yesterday on the show, and I don't want this to become the Wild Boar Show, this big political spectrum or anything like that. But I can tell you this, because this is under my skin, man. These guys and dolls that are out there protesting, and they don't have any, they don't even know why they are. They just want to belong to something, so they turn their hair blue, green, orange, purple. I don't really care what you do. Wash your hands, but don't disrespect guys and gals like that gave you and protected the opportunity for you to do it. That's all I'm trying to say. So he definitely represents.
They're the reasons why we're here.
Agreed.
Chris, I've hired you for a lot of different events and auctions, our gala, all these things. What's your biggest event coming up next?
So I appreciate that. So I got a couple cool ones coming up. As a matter of fact, you know what? Thank you very much for reminding me. Our friend Devin Pappas, who just won the Tampa Bay Philanthropist of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you probably know Devin Pappas? And she's got the Raising Relief Foundation coming up. That's the Denim and Diamonds. That's going to be over at the Sheraton Sand Key. But the big one I got next week is the American Caribbean Maritime Foundation, and that is really, really cool. What they do, and talk about a better need than ever, or more timely need, they actually raise money for scholarships for these, I don't even call them third world, let's call them second world countries, I guess, you know, like the Bahamas and
Right.
Jamaica and some of that. And they give them an opportunity to have access to the maritime academies and the things like that they might not normally have. And it's all a grassroots situation. Fantastic. So I'll be doing that as well. And I'm available for you. So if indeed you have a benefit coming up, please reach out to me. Let me know that you've got something going on. Even if I can't necessarily help you and perform that day, I will always consult with you, always try and help you. If you've got a cause that we believe in, by golly, we get behind it. And I can tell you this, that you'll see as we continue to go and as we continue to grow with the Wild Boar Show, that the theme is always going to be the people that try to give back to the community. That's what we want to do. It's what we're all about. And with that, I want to say thank you to my buddy who stepped in today. He's fantastic. Got to give him a shout out. Richard Osterud with Epic 180. This guy's amazing, friends. When I say amazing, it's amazing. Not only is he helping me, he's helped Thomas, he's helped a lot of you here in the community. Epic 180 is his website. His company. Epic180.com is it? Epic180.com. You will find him, Richard Osterud, for sure. Thomas, my brother, believe it or not,
an AI in that too. So if you need AI help,
I'm not even sure if that's really him sitting over there right now.
Probably not. He's always dubbing himself somewhere with AI videos and stuff. Hey, I do want to say this though. Speaking from experience, I have hired you in many things. If you want to get the best in the business, I always go back to this young man right here. He offers the best prices, and he gets the crowd pumped up. I've seen it, and I would say, remember that one time here? I'm like, oh Lord, stop them from bidding. Just keep it right there, because people were going way over the top, and there was times where like, hey, we got this, and they're like, no one wants it, and then he pumps the crowd, and then you're like, I don't know what kind of magic you pull or what kind of brainwashing. Brainwashing is a big thing right now. That's one of the things that people do with firearms in the Second Amendment. So here, I'll brainwash the whole audience right now. It only takes a second, right?
Uh-oh.
I want you to think about this. So this man, he's at home. He decides to go jogging, right? He decides to go jog. After a little while, he turns left, and then he's jogging a little ways. He turns left again. He turns left again. He decides to go jogging back home, and he sees two guys standing there with masks on. Who are the guys with masks? So I just brainwashed you. You know this answer. You've known this answer since you were 3 years old. But the things I just did with my hand movement, this is crazy. I won't even say it again. I'm just going to give you the whole thing. This is with Kent Hovid. He's taught this over and over. There's many things that you can do. But the whole answer to this is a home run. So the guy is sitting at home plate. He runs and then he takes a left. He goes to the third base. He sees two guys staying with the masks on. It's the umpire and the catcher. The reason why we took you off is because we distracted your mind at home. When I did a home like this with my hand, you're thinking at home. So you've known this answer. It's just about how you word things. How he words things in auctions will get you pumped up and fired up.
Well, one of the things I will say to that, and I love it, is that your next bid is only one more than the last bid.
True that, right? It could be 1 million, it could be 2 million.
And if somebody's bidding with you or against you, that's okay. It's always good to own something that everybody wants. On that, I want to say thank you to all of our friends and volunteers at the Oldsmar Little League. We got a game tonight, 6:30 at the Oldsmar Sports Complex. You know what? If you're looking for something to do and you want a very simple, grassroots, entertaining thing to do, find your local ballpark, whether it's Oldsmar, Safety Harbor, Dunedin, whether it's Tarpon Springs. Go watch a Little League baseball game, buy yourself a hot dog, buy yourself a pretzel, do that kind of thing. Support what we got going on. Thomas, my friend, it's always cool to be here. I want to just remind everybody, come on out to the Florida Firearms Academy. Tell them exactly the address so I can put that actually on the screen.
Sure thing. So we're just east of the Oldsmar Flea Market. We're behind the Mighty Key store. We're 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue. You can always call us for any questions. 813-221-FIRE, or you can go on our webpage at ffatampa.com.
Give us a like, please. View it. Even if you don't watch the whole 30 minutes, at least open it up. Thank you again, everybody. I appreciate it. I'm Chris the Wild Boar, and we're out.